People, it's me, Kinghuman. Listen up. I'm going to rant. I'm going to scream. You know, I've been wanting to scream about something for a long time and rant. And, you know, I just really haven't had anything that I could sink my teeth into. And then this comes along. And it really pisses me off. And it should piss you off, too, on many different levels. Let me set this down. On my computer behind me, you'll see. Okay, what's doing is a bunch of banks got together and were in cahoots and they fixed the currency exchange market. Basically, they stole a bunch of money from a bunch of individuals. I won't go into the details, but the banks all got in bed with each other and they conspired to steal money and rig the market. But what's really amazing is they got caught and they actually pled guilty to it. Unheard of. You know, usually they fight, they scream, they snivel, they bitch. We didn't do it, we didn't do nothing. Blah, 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 blah. This time they just copped to it and they just said, yeah, we did it, so what? Okay, hit us. So what happened was the government came in and fined these banks millions of dollars each, added up to billions. And the bank said, okay, here's your check. Cool, let's go. Why? Because the banks made billions stealing. So a little fine, you know, I mean, it's amazing. Where else does this happen? Where else do people not go to jail for stealing? It's like a cop pulls up on a criminal who just robbed a bank. He's walking out of the bank with bags full of money. And the cop says, hey, I just caught you robbing that bank. And the bank robber says, yeah, you caught me. How much do you want? Here you go. And the cop goes, okay. And the bank robber walks on his way. No jail, no nothing. It's amazing to me. The government, the banks, they're all in cahoots with each other. It's like the government is the mafia. And they just walk up and say, look, we caught you stealing. We want our cut. You know, they don't, those fines mean nothing. I mean, if I go out there and steal billions of dollars and then the, you know, government agency says, hey, you did something wrong, you owe us 10 million. Say, here you go. And I'm left with my billions. It's stupid. It's the government, and here's the other part that really pisses me off. The government takes all these fines, and do they reimburse any of the people who got robbed? No. They put it in their own pockets. The government steals from the people that are stealing, and the victims never get reimbursed. They never get a penny back. The victims get victimized twice. Once by the robber, and once by the law enforcement agency, the government, who comes in and takes money. I go so nuts with this. And why this is allowed to happen, I'll never know. Why we don't go up in arms and say, look, this is bullshit. First of all, if you want to fine these banks, fine. But make sure they're fined as much as they made and twice as much more, so that it means something. Secondly, have that money go to the victims. And thirdly, have these people go to jail. Let's have some consequences for their misdeeds. Let's have some real world consequences. People should be going to jail. That's theft. It was a deliberate theft. Now, I mean, I won't go into the details of how they rigged it and the whole thing. I'll put a link down there to a Google search, and it'll give you a bunch of different articles on it if you want to go read the whys and wherefores. But this is what pisses me off about our government. This is why things just keep getting more and more corrupt in our society. There's no consequences. The consequences that are imposed are so minimal that it pays to be a crook. If you're big, if you're a little guy, yeah, you're going to go to jail. But if you're a big guy, hey, there's no consequences. You're not going to jail. Just pay us our cut and go on and do it again. Nice. freaking... Oh, you people should be screaming your asses off. You should be up in arms about this. You should be writing your congressman. You should be going nuts over this. People need to pay for their misdeeds. You know, I mean, oh my God. Why don't anybody go to jail anymore? Why doesn't anybody go to jail anymore when they do something? If they're in a big business, if they're in a corporation, or even if they're in the freaking clergy. You know, this drove me mental when this came out, when the big scandal hit with all the priests raping little boys. And what the church did was they took the priests and they just moved them to another area. They didn't go to jail for rape. There was no consequences. The government allowed these churches to say, oh, well, he's raping little boys, we'll move him over here and it won't happen anymore. Nobody went to jail. It just drives me crazy to see this kind of injustice and to see when the people allow this to happen. You earthlings, makes me absolutely insane that you earthlings are so freaking apathetic and allow these injustices to just keep happening. No consequences. Nothing. Oh, I'm serious. I am so freaking angry when I see this kind of injustice. You have no idea. All right. I gotta go get a scotch. All right, donate a few bucks to help us at kids. St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids helps the kids. Have a good, if you can, I can't now, have a good holiday weekend, and so angry at this, I can't get over it. All right, go away.